The Sony Xperia 1 Mark 6 finally got Android 16 here, and I want to show you a little bit around the user interface and what has changed. So let's get started. First things first, Android 16 security patches of October 2025, and this is the build number for the 1 Mark 6 version of Android 16. Did I notice much of a difference? No. In terms of fluidity, it is as fluid as it was before. The icons here were like they were before in the control center. When I go to settings, however, and I go into something, you can see we have a nice new back animation. So if I go back, not only the arrow shows up, but also a nice little preview shows up as well. It shows me where I'm going back to, and the same goes where I'm going back to the home screen. So this is a quite nice new addition. The settings, however, a bit confusing for some, have been rearranged. So first thing I wanted to do is scroll down, go to System or About. It's gone. It's now put here in the middle together with Storage, Battery and System. And if I want to go to System Updates, I find it here. The cool thing is we have now System Update without the Support tab that we had before, where some Sony specific apps were updated. Now it's just an updater for the system. So this has been finally addressed because it was a little bit of cumbersome and annoying. What they didn't address so much is changelogs, because we still don't have a changelog. Well, this is a Sony issue. Otherwise, the system settings are like they were before, not anything new that I really noticed here. Modes are in here, bad time, driving mode and so on. I think that was there before. Wallpapers and styles maybe has changed slightly because we have some things that we can set up here by scrolling and swiping through to change the clock user interface, so the position. Sadly, we cannot freely adjust it, and how it will look like. I like this one actually, so let's keep it like this. And I have the possibility to change the shortcuts here for certain things, like this can be set to device control, can set it to the do not disturb or mute. Well, let's set it maybe to mute. And I have some other settings here, like for example the torch, which is something that might be handy. So let's leave it on the torch. And then I can do the same on the other side. Right control, there we have two control options. The upper one that I've set to wallet, and there's a lower one as well. How do I go to the lower one? Probably I cannot set it up. I can only set the upper one. A bit of a limitation. Nevertheless, yeah, this is the lock screen that I can set up, and I can set up the home screen as well. I can switch to themed icons there, but I didn't notice much of a huge difference here with Android 16 so far in the user interface of the Xperia 1 Mark 6. Now, some people will ask me for speed results. I run it through Geekbench 6 here, and I get a little bit of lower results than I had before. I think it was 2200 that I got in single core and 6700 around. So it is quite down here. I'm not sure if it's a Geekbench issue. The operating system itself feels fluid, but it's always feeling very, very fluid here. And not a hitch or issue at all with this one. No stutter at all. So this one is quite fluid. But what we are here for are, of course, cameras. We have a new camera application, so this got slightly updated. I don't know anything about the changelog. Like I said, Sony is not giving us any changelog. So I have to go out, take some photos and take some videos, and yeah, I will judge a little bit. Maybe you can judge as well, help me a bit, if they really improved something on the 1 Mark 6. And yes, some of you have noticed that I cracked the screen. Yes, the 1 Mark 6, if it's on, you don't see it so much, but yes, it's cracked. It's cracked at one point. I'm running it caseless, and more than a year you can see, and fell once on the ground and it cracked. There is definitely something in here that is cracked, but I can still use it here, so yeah, this is not a huge issue, but this is what you get when you run your phone caseless and it falls on the ground. In this case, impact was here probably, and yeah, it's broken slightly. There's now a shot inside taken with the Pro Video mode, internal microphone, the one on the back I have turned on because you can set it up in the setting. S-Cinetone for mobile as well. I have disabled the variable bitrate, so we have a constant bitrate here on this one, which is also quite fantastic that we have those options there in the Pro Video mode. It's the main camera sensor, the best sensor that we have on the 1 Mark 6, and I think it is doing quite a good job, but I didn't notice much of an improvements. Did you notice any improvements here in this shot? Probably not. We go just outside. I take the normal standard video mode now, and we will also try out some photos there, and we check them out as well. And this is now an auto shot with the standard video mode here, external mic plugged in, still no possibility to change the microphone sensitivity, especially useful for external mics. Here stabilization is set to high quality, and it's a bit of sun going out, which is like, because it was raining all the time, a little bit of a specialty here. What does it do with the sun in the background? I think because stabilization is set so high, the wide dynamic range cannot be set to turned on and HDR is turned off. What do you think about this quality here of the Xperia 1 Mark 6? And I will take some photos here right now, and we will check out the photos, and if you see any improvements, especially improvements in regards to the telelens, because this is one of the weakest ones where I expect it really to shine a little bit more, hopefully. But let's check it out now. Start off with 3.5 times zoom here on this fish food, and I think it's looking good. We have still a little bit of information here, and it's getting a bit soft towards the sides, but it's not too bad. Then 7.1 times zoom on this flower here. I think it is doing okay, but its detail levels are not so good. Exposure is nice. It's not overexposing, which is good, and the colors look nice. The main camera sensor, actually it's the ultra wide angle, not the main camera sensor, 60 millimeters. And this is also doing fine with the colors, also with the sky. It's a bit overexposing here for sure. There's a bit of fringing going on, but we know already that the ultra wide angle is doing a solid job for what it is. It's not over sharpening too much there, which I like, and the foliage and so on is okay. But it's something that is definitely last gen. We know already that this 1 Mark 7 has already a newer ultra wide angle sensor, and I think they should keep it for the 1 Mark 8 or upgrade it even to an even better one. There, it's a large one, and it will beat this one. This is the main camera sensor. Colors are so nice, so accurate on the Xperia devices. Always, it's like great. You can see, yes, it was raining. All the little raindrops you can see there. And we check out the next one. Is this close focusing? Sadly, close focusing requires you to manual focus still, so there's no automatic close focusing, which other manufacturers have. But if you can get it with the 120 times magnification or whatever they show there, then you can get a nice shot, as long as you don't zoom in. If you zoom in too much, then it's falling apart a little bit, little sharpening and so on. This one here also very, very nice what you can achieve with this one. Nice bokeh there. It's looking good. It's like, yes, a bit noisy for sure. It's a small sensor. This is a 2x crop on the main sensor. It's a bit less sharp. I think they improved them on as well, but this is why I wish they would switch maybe to a little bit of a better sensor here as well for the main sensor. I know back in the day it was a very good one, but I think they have several in their arsenal that I can use that are better than this one here. Selfie cam as well. I would really like them to up the megapixel rate and maybe add autofocus in there. Several others are better for sure here. And yeah, it's a bit dull colors there for sure as well. Main camera sensor, another test here in terms of sharpness and detail. I think the sensor size is okay. Maybe they can make it a little bit larger, the sensor size there, and add a bit of more megapixels, or have a better newer sensor with low-fig support. I know Sony's working on it. They could put it in here. This is 10x zoom. Again, it's not good. It's really not good. For an optical 7.1x zoom, cropping into 10x, it's really not good. I know that AI needs to play a role there, but it's definitely the sensor size, and colors are nice. Colors are very accurate on Sony devices. I like this. This is 10x. Not 10x, this is 21x. Before was 10x, this is 21x, the maximum zoom. Forget about it. This is 7.1x, and even that looks a bit better than 10x, but it is just too soft. I know on the 1 Mark 7 they improved slightly upon it, but they're still using the same mechanism, the same sensors, so only like slight processing differences between those two. Maybe slight hardware changes as well, but I really like them to up their game in terms of the telephoto camera sensor. Main camera sensor here, we have a bit of HDR going on, slightly overexposure I think there, but I like this natural color that it kept in here. It's a bit of over sharpening, as you see here as well. So Sony is also doing this over sharpening kind of thing that other smartphones are doing, but the colors are very, very nice and accurate. I had another attempt to shoot a very small leaf that was fully covered in water almost. And yeah, if you zoom in, I got a bit of like focus confirmation on those little hairs here. So I thought maybe I can pull something off, but it didn't really work out. This is a low light shot now with the flash enabled. I think the colors got very good. Captured color-wise, I think I like the Sony really, really good. It's closest to reality that you can get and to a normal camera. You can see a little bit there that the flash is going on there. And then this is without the flash. See, it's a bit more warm and yellow, and you have like a bit of the radiant gradient here of the flash. Where here it's a bit colder and took a longer exposure time. Sharpness and detail levels, however, are fine on this one. It's a bit of noise going on. Maybe let's compare it with the flash one. Flash one is even, I think, a bit better, yeah. So there's a reason why, for some reason, the flash was active on my camera app now after the update. Maybe makes sense to have the flash active because you can directly take the shot instead of like waiting for a few seconds. But I know that flashes are not very popular, especially when you take photos of people, human subjects. Talking about bokeh, this is a little handbag actually made out of a puppet, 3.5x zoom actually with a portrait mode or bokeh mode, how Sony calls it here. And yes, you can see already the issues when I go to 100%. It's just the resolution, the details, the noise that they try to eliminate. It's fighting. Indoor shots you can almost forget, even like this shot of Timmy here. The noise is just unbearably bad on this one. The sensor is just too small, and it's not like it renders the Sony Xperia basically useless indoors. Outdoors it can be quite okay, but for indoor situations, and you can switch, you have to switch actually to the main camera sensor. It's the only good sensor there besides maybe the ultra wide angle, but for portraits the main sensor 2x shot. And even this, when you go to 100%, you have a bit of noise. It's less noticeable, more bearable than the other one, but it's still not perfect. And yeah, you can get a bit closer with the 2x sensor, but it's not perfect. Let's say it like this. Yeah, and video mode, zooming in, zooming out, is still a bit stuttery. This is zoom out, zoom in, 2x, 3.5x. You can see it's still, I think they improved it slightly back to the ultra wide angle, but it's like still not competing against anything else. It's just too slow and a bit stuttery. It is improved for sure what we had before, but it's not the best there. And last but not least, front-facing video on the Xperia 1 Mark 6. We all know that front-facing video is not Sony's specialty. They just put a front-facing camera in there so that they can say we have a front-facing camera. And for video chats you can maybe use it. 4K 30, 4K 60 frames per second are possible with this one, but no autofocus, and I don't expect it to be such a great kind of device. So what I expect Sony to do for the Xperia 1 Mark 8 will be upgrading finally the telephoto camera sensor and maybe even the front-facing camera. Add some autofocus there, make it a bit of higher megapixel kind of count. And yeah, main camera sensor update. I really like to see the 1/1.1 inch sized sensor, 200 megapixels, that they can also use then for cropping in 2 or even 4 times. And then maybe a revised version of the variable zoom with higher megapixel count and a larger sensor that can also work in the dark a little bit better, in dim lit situations a bit better. What are your wishes? Write it down in the comment section and tell me especially if you see some improvements here on the Xperia 1 Mark 6. That's everything for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until the next time. Bye.